unfortunately for some, maybe, and fortunately for others, we're extending the official deadline of our Reimagined contest that I'm doing with Phil Zio and Lee Cheney of the Metal Prognosis to January 1st, 2023, because we just haven't gotten in enough entries, and I want whoever wins this to feel like they were up against some stiff competition and really earned it. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you can check the links in the description for some of our other videos on it, but a quick rundown is that it is an original song that I wrote in collaboration with Phil and Lee, and we're asking you to take the multitracks and not just remix it and reproduce it, but actually change the song, maybe make a new song out of it, put it into a different genre, whatever you want with it. Any genre is okay. It doesn't have to sound like the original. We just want you to use as much of the source material as you can in doing your remix or reimagining of this song. So it's pretty open-ended, and that is the point. We want this to be a creativity contest as well as a production and mixing contest. There's a lot of mixing contests out there on YouTube, and that's all well and good, but we thought we'd do a little different take on it, and hopefully it'll be more interesting for the viewers because we're going to judge the top 10 on Livestream, and it's a little more interesting for us too, rather than sorting through a bunch of entries of the same mix and just trying to decipher who used compression better and who did an overall better job in the mix. So we're judging based on the creativity of your idea, the execution or how well you brought that idea to life, as well as the production quality. So having a great mix will certainly help, but it's not the only thing this contest is about. And having a really creative idea that just isn't well done and well produced also probably isn't going to win. However, this is not a contest where we have hundreds of entries. We have, well, let's say around 10 right now, and we're hoping to get to 20 or 30 so that the top 10 are actually the top 10 and not just the only 10. That would be awkward. So this is a good opportunity if you are a metal producer to maybe try a genre that you're not as familiar with, or if you're not a metal producer, maybe put it into a genre that you do usually produce in, as well as maybe start a new genre. I mean, that would be really cool. You want to win points for creativity? Why don't you make a new subgenre? I'll put the song in at the end of this video in case you haven't heard it, and you can check out the links below for more information from our sort of podcast style episode I did with Phil and Lee, where we're just kind of talking about a lot of things for a long time, as well as Phil's recent update, and Lee is working on some videos as well. So I'll put all that in the description. We're going to have first, second, and third place prizes for this, as well as everyone in the top 10 will get to be on stream and get some free promotion out of it and enjoy seeing us roast your song as we so ruthlessly will. Our first place prize includes some stuff from Solemn Tones, including a bass sampler of your choice, either the Kraken Hybrid Bass or the Loki Bass 2, as well as their Bifrost Cinematic Sample Pack. From Audio Assault, you'll be getting a standalone amp sim of your choice, plus their Reamp Studio, which is a pack with a whole lot of amps in it, plus one other plugin or cab pack of your choice. And the biggest prize for first place is the Studio Producer Pack from AIX DSP, which is going to include all their products and possibly all their future products. So that's pretty much a whole production suite worth of plugins, and they have a lot of stuff that other companies aren't doing too. So you're not going to want to miss a chance to win that. For the second place prize from Audio Assault, they're giving you a standalone amp sim or Reamp Studio, plus one other plugin or cab pack of choice. And from AIX DSP, they're throwing in the Vocal Producer Pack, which is going to have all their vocal production-oriented plugins. For the third place prize, from Audio Assault, you're winning one plugin of your choice, and from AIX DSP, the Drum Producer Pack, which is all their drum-oriented plugins. So that's a lot of big prizes on the line, but even if you don't win, I hope you try something new. I hope you learn something and experiment, and maybe you make something that you're really proud of, and possibly, hopefully, it'll end up on our stream. There's a good chance for anybody with solid entries to win this or to make it into the top 10. We're not going to have hundreds of entries, much as that would be cool. I also don't really want to have to sort through and listen to hundreds of entries, so I'm kind of glad that we're not going to be too overwhelmed. But really, you have a good chance. You're not up against that much competition. We do have some really good entries. There's going to be some strong ones in there for sure, but you do have a chance, so it's definitely worth doing. And I hope that you enjoy the song and it's a fun project for you to work on anyways. So to provide a little extra inspiration, here is a bonus remix that I've done for this. And it's sort of a horror trap electronic thing. I don't know. It's not really the kind of music I usually do, but I thought I'd just do something a little off the wall. So I hope you enjoy it, and then I'll break down a little bit about what I did and how I accomplished this great sound. Pretty sick, yeah. Obviously, I'm an expert trap producer now, so thanks to this project for inspiring me to broaden my horizons. Most everything, besides the drums, are from the original track, but they are processed differently. So we start out with this string thing, and you can see I have a EQ automating a high shelf, sort of opening this thing up. This is a trick that I do a lot. I'd say too much, but I don't think there's such a thing. And we are using, well, first of all, the original strings are the intimate strings from Spitfire. It's just a string part, but then I'm using this awesome dist Coldfire, which I did do a video on. It's an awesome plugin, and it's really handy for this kind of stuff because I just load up this random stutter filter preset, and here we have this awesome string thing. And then I'm doing some kind of somewhat random automation, kind of opening up into the song to build the hype, give it a little riser kind of energy, and then sort of playing around with some automation elsewhere just to give it a little extra movement. But Coldfire is really doing a lot of that syncopated filtering sound. For the drums, this is just a new part I wrote, just a very basic kind of trap style beat. This is just the cymbals and the snare, and then I have on a separate channel the kick drum, just to process them a little bit differently and smash the kick drum really hard without killing everything else too much. And for the drums, I'm just using the free Sitala with the stock 808 kit. I am then compressing it, and I have an exciter on it. Try to get some of that blown out subwoofer sound you hear in these types of music. And then I have this little sub bass thing, which is kind of following the kick, which really isn't doing a whole lot, but it's got a synth. It's got this Brainworks Oberhausen. You know, it's just some basic stuff to give a little more weight to the bass because we want the most sub energy that we can. And I kind of wish I had a subwoofer right now because I can't even hear the lowest parts of the subwoofer, but I know it's there because there's definitely a lot of bass going on. So if you have a sub, I hope you enjoyed that. Then the guitars, I'm using this kind of breakdown riff in the song, just using the DIs as they were. And I'm using the same amps and everything that I used, but I am also using Coldfire again, just to give it that extra something to make it not quite as metal and make it a little more differenter, electronicer. I've got the Groove for Pads preset, which again is doing some of that like automated sequence filtering thing, which is really cool. And I don't have a lot of plugins that do that, but this one does. So it's more than just a distortion plugin. It does a lot of that sequencing stuff, which is cool. Then I've got this crazy synth lead going on, and it's actually just the organ part, which is really kind of simple. This part, again, it's the organ part over this breakdown. It's just kind of a dissonant, drony thing. Then I'm using this Kniphonium plugin from Brainworks, And this is based on this cool tube synth, the Kniff synth that he made. The guy, Mr. Kniff. I hope that's, I want to say Knifonium, but I'm pretty sure it's Kniff. I hope so, at least. Anyways, this is a pretty awesome plugin, and I really haven't checked it out that much, so I don't fully understand everything that this can do at all, because it can do a lot. But it's a pretty unique sounding synth, and I just went through a bunch of presets until I found this one, which makes it sound like I've written a whole different part, or I'm improvising some weird synth lead, and it's actually just the organ part with this Steam preset on, which in this case sounded really cool. A lot of the presets did, so it's a bit hard to choose, but this one was the most interesting, the most movement. Lastly, I just put in some of Phil's vocals. I didn't change the processing on them at all, except for the EQ a little bit, just to fit the track. And I chopped them up a little bit and just tried to tighten the timing a little more so that it fit with this kind of style. But this is his death metal rap vocals, and then some of the gang vocals, which I also put not in the same place that they are on the original track. I moved them like a beat ahead or beat behind. Again, just sounded cool with the track. So otherwise, I just left those as I had them in this mix already. And that's it. That's this cool track. The secret here is to have an idea and then to do it and to play around with different plugins until you get close enough to your goal that you're happy with it. If I was doing an entry for this contest, I would put more work into this, but this is just a demonstration for the video for you guys as a little inspiration, bonus inspiration. So you can find more information on my Discord linked in the description, as well as how to enter, which is really just submit your entries to reimaginedcontest@gmail.com. And I hope to see you in the contest. Now, enjoy the song.